Imagine you're floating in the middle of the infinite blue. Suddenly, the sunlight is blocked by a silhouette that seems never-ending. We're talking about the blue whale, the current title holder of the largest animal to ever exist. Or at least, that's what we were sure of until yesterday. But before we move forward, we need to understand a golden rule of science. When biologists and paleontologists discuss which animal is the largest, they aren't necessarily talking about which one is tallest or longest. The real criterion, the one that decides the official championship, is weight or raw mass. That's why, even though there were dinosaurs much longer or taller, the blue whale still holds the crown by a long shot, because in terms of tonnage, nothing we know in Earth's history beats its density. To grasp this weight, think about the scale. A male African elephant is a terrestrial colossus, right? Well, you would need 33 elephants stacked together to match the weight of a single adult blue whale, which can reach 190 tons. Regarding length, they easily reach 30 meters, but historical records exist of colossal specimens reaching an incredible 33.6 meters. Can you visualize it? It's basically a Boeing 737 cruising through the seas, or nearly 1/3 of a regulation football field. And if the exterior size is intimidating, the interior is a masterpiece of natural engineering. This giant's heart weighs about 180 to 200 kilograms, literally the weight of 2 or 3 grown men in a single organ. It's the size of a golf cart and beats so powerfully it can be heard for kilometers underwater. To keep this engine running, she swallows about 4 tons of krill a day. She is the gold standard of giantism. But her throne has begun to wobble with recent discoveries coming straight from the depths of time. Our first stop in this investigation takes us to the Ica Desert in Peru. There, paleontologists unearthed 13 vertebrae and several ribs that defy the laws of biology. Meet Perucetus colossus. To visualize this creature, think of a modern manatee, but on an absurdly colossal scale. It had that robust, rounded body, very similar to stellar sea cow, a giant that inhabited the waters of North America and Alaska until recent times. What makes Perucetus colossus a terrifying contender for the blue whale is not its length. It was smaller, measuring between 17 and 20 meters, but rather what was on the inside. Unlike modern whales, which have light bones to help with buoyancy, Perucetus had bones as solid as rocks, functioning as natural ballast. Current scientific estimates regarding its weight are cautious but staggering. The data suggests a minimum of 85 tons, but body mass calculations indicate it could reach 150 or even a surreal 340 tons at the upper limit. What do we know for sure? It had the heaviest skeleton of any animal ever recorded. If it hit the median mark of 180 tons, it would already be in a dead heat with the blue whale, despite being only half its length. It was a slow giant, a living battle tank that lived in shallow waters, possibly grazing at the seabed. It proves that nature has already experimented with extreme giantism by focusing on raw mass rather than speed. Leaving the aquatic environment, we observe how life dealt with one of the greatest biological obstacles, the force of gravity on dry land. Without the aid of water's buoyancy to support body mass, nature produced the sauropods, dinosaurs that represent the pinnacle of terrestrial gigantism. Names like Argentinosaurus and Patagotitan took biological proportions to a whole new level. While the blue whale holds the mass record, these animals dominated in wingspan and height. An Argentinosaurus could reach between 35 and 40 meters in length. For comparison, if it stood next to a building, its head would reach the 6th floor. The weight of these titans is estimated between 70 and 90 tons. Although this is lower than the whale, one must consider that all this weight was supported exclusively by 4 limbs on dry ground. This phenomenon was possible thanks to a unique combination of factors. The atmosphere of the Cretaceous period was significantly richer in oxygen, which sustained the metabolism of such a massive body. Furthermore, the bone structure of these animals was a masterpiece of natural engineering, featuring vertebrae with air cavities to reduce weight without sacrificing strength. However, there was an insurmountable biological limit: the circulatory system. The hearts of great sauropods operated at the absolute limit of the pressure required to pump blood up through their necks to the brain. They represent the ultimate balancing point between bone weight, cardiac capacity, and Earth's atmospheric conditions.
To close our list of giants, we must return to the oceans, but to an era long before whales. In the Triassic period, giant ichthyosaurs emerged, such as the recently described Ichthyotitan severnensis. Although their body shape resembles a modern dolphin, make no mistake, they were pure marine reptiles, perfectly adapted to life in the abyss. What makes these reptiles fascinating is the scale they achieved. Recently discovered jaw fragments suggest these animals could reach 25 meters in length. But the data that truly shocks is the weight. Estimates based on the body mass of these apex predators indicate that the largest specimens could weigh around 80 to 100 tons, with bolder assumptions based on isolated bones from even larger animals suggesting they could approach or even shatter the 200-ton mark. If confirmed, we would be looking at a reptile that not only rivals, but may have blown the blue whale out of the water in total mass millions of years before it even existed. They were the true dragons of the deep, with eyes the size of dinner plates to hunt in near total darkness. The verdict. So, who truly holds the crown? Science is in a vibrant phase of discovery and reappraisal. In terms of raw mass, Perucetus colossus and the largest ichthyosaurs are the strongest candidates to dethrone the blue whale, though the lack of 100% complete skeletons still requires caution from paleontologists before a definitive announcement.
In terms of length, sauropods like Argentinosaurus remain the absolute kings of length, stretching nearly 10 meters further than the largest whales. The blue whale remains the largest living animal and a prime example of biological efficiency that has survived to this day. What these colossi teach us is that life on Earth is resilient and ambitious. Whether through reptiles, dinosaurs, or mammals, nature always finds a way to test the planet's physical limits. They remind us that no matter how much we master technology today, we are merely small spectators in a story of giants that began long before us. And you? Out of all these colossi, which one would you have liked to see up close if you could travel through time? Perucetus, the sauropods, or the colossal ichthyosaur? Leave your comment below. And to keep democratizing scientific knowledge and exploring the greatest wonders of nature, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Until next time.